it kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go
No,
lefty.
we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast.
Is that wrong one? I hear it. I hear it now.
Check 1, 2.
We're back.
Ha ha.
Thank God for Austin Van Buren.
Hello. You'll hear it in a second, Austin. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry, folks. Okay. Thank you guys for sticking around. Welcome to Downlane Podcast. We are officially streaming
Thanks, Austin.
live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes.
You'll see, buddy.
We had Austin on the phone because that's what we needed to actually get this thing running, because I'm an idiot. What do you think, Anthony?
I've lost more hair than I don't have much left.
We'd like to thank you guys for
Sticking
actually
around.
hanging out. I appreciate it. It was probably the most stupid reason I could have thought of why you guys could not hear us, which was that I did not actually add the sound, the correct sound. That's not even. I'm not even saying the right terms. Anyway, the computer of which we have the sound going through was not even on the stage, if you will, as it's called in StreamYard. So yeah, it's bad news. So don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. This is a great show. Great show.
We're a little behind today. We're gonna have to make up some time, but what we said in the beginning was Austin is not here tonight, which is why we are having some technical difficulties. He's taking more days off than Obama did.
Way to bring back your joke that in here.
That's why I said it. I had to let people hear it. It was kind of funny the first time. The second time, it seems like it's a little stale, but and that was when we didn't know we were
not being heard. So welcome to the show, Deke, Tyler, Derb Daddy, Mike Ruther. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully you're still here. I know we got a few people hanging out. Bone Steel, what's up?
It was plugged in.
Yes, everything was plugged in, ready to go. I just didn't hit the right buttons.
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about this. So I'm like, what's this button do? What's this button do?
You got everything plugged in? I'm like, yeah, everything's plugged in, ready to go. I'm just not smart. Anyway, how was your week this week?
Well, it's been a while. Bowling or just work in general?
Everything. Just give it to us straight.
Well, bowling's been good. I had $2.99 on Monday.
Whoa.
I had thank you. Can they hear that? Can they actually hear that?
Yep, they can actually hear it now.
Okay, well, I left the 3-pin. It was a terrible shot. It was very horrendous.
3-pin?
Yeah, I missed it on the bottom.
Would you fire it like a missile?
No, I just missed it. I threw it pretty bad. So, I had $2.99. I think I had like $9.50 or $9.60. And then on Tuesday, Zach Phillips was trying to.
What'd you leave again?
3-pin. Is that a boo?
Sad for him.
Well, anyways, and then I bowled Tuesday, and Zach Phillips, if you're watching, he tried to put a collar on the big dog, but the big dog don't let no collars get put on him. So I took him to the cleaners. I think I had.
Didn't you want to bowl for money?
Yeah, I told him let's bowl for a bowling ball.
Oh. Wow, you're ready to give bowling balls away.
Well,
last
give
couple
bowling
weeks.
balls away.
I'm not saying against Zach Phillips. I'm just saying you've been ready to just.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. Let's see what you got. And he's like, he was got a little bit nervous, and he backed up a little bit, and I think I beat him by 126 pins, which all of it was from my luck of carrying. He told me it wasn't because I bowled better. He threw it just as good as I did. He hit the pocket just as good as I did. Right, Zach? If you're on the chat here, it was all I got lucky carry. He told me. So for 42 pins a game, it was just carry.
Nice.
I think I shot 7. I don't know. I had 240 or 260, 250, 240 or something like that. I don't know. So I had enough. But big dog is in no collar this week.
Nice. No leash, no collar. You're just roaming free.
We are
letting the big dog eat.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the pasture right now. We are herding the sheep.
The pack.
We are herding the sheep. We are putting them into their farm animal stalls, and we are also defending from the wolves. But they're kind of like baby wolves. I mean, we're really taking care of them. So that's been the week. I mean, bowling good, and tonight we gotta continue the trend. Attention Star S2 is good.
How does it look?
Well, it's as we've drilled quite a few balls for the show, for the reviews and stuff. So we do have a lot more knowledge on the covers, especially how they roll for myself. And, the Attention Star shiny ball, the shiny one, the pro one.
Original OG.
It was a little too clean for me on the left. So we drilled this one with a 1/2 inch stronger pin. Everything else stayed the same. And we've got a little bit more shape out of it. Obviously, it does come sanded, but it's still pretty clean. It's not super, super early. But it does.
Georgie Gorman, what's going on? GG3, as
Does-
we call him.
Get the job done. So
Mhm.
it does look good. I am probably going to recommend this for, I think you would really like this one. I think guys who want to move in a little bit with asymmetrical balls, but the Attention Star might have been too clean, would be a good idea.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
what do you think? Huh? You got a bowl this week. You bowled yesterday.
I did. I was summoned, if you will, asked nicely by our local nationally exempt touring professional.
Wow.
Rookie of the Year nominee, Andrew Hall.
How far down on the list were you?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't want to ask.
I was gonna ask.
I don't want to be. You can ask, but I don't want to be offended. I don't want to make myself feel bad.
I heard
So-
you were like last call. Like, I mean,
Please, for the love of God.
I need someone to bowl tonight, man. This guy, I don't know. How'd you fare?
I shot all right. It was 9:30. I mean, listen.
So really, it was about 8:20.
In real world,
And
sure.
real world bowling,
Of course.
is 8:20.
But I shot 9:30 with a 190 game the last game. That
You're
big
so good.
transition move got me big time.
You're really good.
Wow.
Glad you bowled good.
Anyway, yeah, bowled last night. Bowled, of course, Thursday nights. I don't even remember. Oh, I shot 860 last week, which was absolutely terrible. But I shot 860 with a 260 and a 250 or 240 using my axe.
Yeah, this morning you said, hey, we're going to drill up this mix, the red, white, and blue one in the shop. I'm going to sand it up a little bit so I got a little bit more hook.
That's right.
And I said, really? And I got busy today and didn't get to it, but maybe at
If we finish this show in rapid speed, which we are going to have to pick up the pace because we couldn't figure out how to start the show. So
I wouldn't say we.
correct.
I couldn't start the show by myself
No,
anyways. So
you would be an absolute train wreck, and
Yeah.
I'm just a car crash. You would be a train wreck.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
we were just gonna start writing stuff down, our thoughts, and like putting them up like on those YouTube things. Remember how they were making those circles? Like
where the cards just drop
yeah,
out.
they drop down. Like, and this is. I thought we were gonna do that
Nice.
tonight. And we didn't have to. Thank God.
Yeah. So last week we bowled in the Baker's doubles up in South Glens Falls.
That
New
was
York
not last week.
Well, 2 weeks ago. Sorry. Last week we had the commish on the show. So
Mhm.
if any of you,
Also nominated for the PBA Hall of Fame.
USBC Hall of Fame.
Oh,
USBC Hall of Fame.
no, same
Um,
difference.
No, not the same difference. But what's up, Don? So we had the commission on last week. And yes, he was nominated for the USBC Hall of Fame. And let's see, about the week before that, we bowled in the doubles. So we thought we would talk about that a little bit and how we fared. Austin's not here, so we'll give an update on how he did, which was pretty good. Him and Tyler Drexel both together. They finished 14th. They were, he was telling us about it. They were struggling a little bit. They, I don't know where they were, through the day,
I think they were minus 80 in the first few.
but then they just came for a charge at the end of the day and ended up in 14th, which is
Yeah.
pretty strong.
Austin said he switched to a sanded ball and threw 22 out of 24, which doesn't surprise me.
Switched to a sanded ball. That's insane.
He,
to
well, he
me.
went to Shiny. I'm not sure why he went to Shiny. He's not here to defend himself.
Sure.
So I'm going to say, Austin, what are you thinking? Shiny on the fresh. You should always start with a sanded ball.
Oh, he had shiny on the fresh.
That's what happened. You're not here to defend yourself, Austin. So you're going to get attacked. And you're going to like it. What one was that?
That's a rim shot.
Oh. So, anyways, he went with that, ended up switching and did really well. Kyle and Nick were the leaders in the clubhouse.
Our clubhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not the clubhouse at the tournament because we didn't lead the tournament.
No, you guys did all right, though.
Georgie Gorman, though, was in the chat. They led for a little bit. They were freaking mashing it.
Yeah, I mean,
Him and
the,
Devin.
the left was, there is no Austin Deek. That is why there was a hitch. Everybody actually texted me and said, there must be no Austin tonight. And we said, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, hey, RD, watching from the hospital bed.
Oh,
You're-
nice. Appreciate it, Art.
Jeez.
New knee. New.
We'll see at bowl
viewer.
tonight.
So he started with shiny on the fresh,
Yeah, and then he went into an optimum idle for the rest of the day.
of course. that ball works good for him because he can just
blends
tear
it
the
out.
cover. Yeah,
Smooths everything out. He can
Mhm.
kind of get it to the right and get it to the left a little bit. Doesn't overhook down lane or over bend curve down lane. It's pretty smooth for him. The left side, the lanes, they did. I was gonna say wax. They
Jack
did.
it's in the house.
He is bowling today too.
Yeah, I saw that.
They did screen the lanes in May.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've talked about this before.
Maybe you did.
I do believe that the building plays a little bit different on the left.
It plays different on the right.
It's much different. I think the pairs that I usually bowl good on, I don't bowl as well on. The low end is still good for me. But when I get to like the middle, they're even a little bit more touchy than normal. I did throw urethane for most of the day. I had an okay look. As a team, we didn't really shoot anything under 186. I think that was our low game on the day, but we really didn't shoot anything high. We were like 190s all day. I think a 2.0 and a 2.10 and a 2.30, but we finished +1, which it was 60 off the cut. But urethane looked good for a little bit. I could curve it pretty good. It wasn't terrible. I think resin was just a little bit better. There was a few lefty pairings where they threw only urethane. They didn't make it either. So ever since they screened the lanes a little bit, I think they're a little bit trickier for pair to pair for me.
I think it evened out, at least on the right side, it evened out the pair to pair. Like, I don't see that. We've always talked about on the show, and if Doug's watching, because he said he's an avid viewer, Doug's the proprietor of Kingpin up in South Glens Falls. And it has always been historically tight on the low end, hooks a lot on the high end, somewhere in the middle or somewhere in between in the middle. But I think it has actually evened that out a little bit on the right side. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if some other guys in the chat can attest to that.
They did exactly what they always do for me.
Like
they played exactly like the low end was tight, the high end hooked, but I think the middle and the high end are even. They're just more tricky now. I don't think that pair, like lane to lane, I don't think they're close. I used to have them pretty close. Certain pairs I knew were different because we bowled up there enough, but now I don't. Like, you bowl in the left lane, you bowl in the right lane. I think they're complete opposite worlds.
Yeah. So
when you get into the middle,
well, like when we moved, George, I'm going to get to that in a second. He's talking about 39 and 40. When we moved pairs, though, I didn't have to make like some wild adjustments all of the time.
Oh no, we did.
Yeah, so the right side definitely got better pair to pair. So thank you, Doug, for destroying the left side. Just kidding.
Deke is right. They took the tilt out. I swear to God, they did. Yeah, is that a want button?
No, that's an applause.
Oh.
You're taking the left side tilt out.
I mean, I'm not saying that they are difficult because I thought resin was a little bit better. I struck quite a bit the last game. We shot 240, but I think that just for the notes that I had previous, I think they do play a little bit different. They still play what I would expect them to do when I do go bowl there. Like the high end hooks more, the middle is a little choppy and the low end is tight. But as I get into the middle and as we move pair to pair, they are just, for me, they're so much more different than what they used to be. And I'm not saying that they're tighter because I don't see a difference, and I don't. The ball still hooks at 10 feet for me. Like, I could get the ball to hook at 10 feet. I still could throw urethane. I was hooking urethane quite a bit. So it's not as if, that's changed. I just feel like when I get up there, I feel like I'm just not in the same bowling center on some lanes. Like one lane, we bowled 2-0 on. We go to the next pair, our ball never hooked. We go to the next pair, my ball hooked at 10 feet. And then I watch Matt and his ball never hooked, but we're on the same pair because we're partners. Then we go to the next pair, and then it looks like we're going to score pretty good, and then we just never string them together. Then we go to another pair, and I can throw it anywhere and strike, and then Matt's ball didn't really do the right thing. So it seemed like we were always in this funk. And when we bowled the regional, we were on my most hated pattern, so I'm not going to say much. But when we bowled in that and I could throw urethane, I could see the trickiness in it. So I'm going to have to just redo some notes and really pay attention where I'm bowling from now on, because I have to update kind of pair to pair, hopefully, because the bay, I'm gonna call them bays for me. They're still the same, like each like individual.
Yeah, the low end 8 and the middle 8 and the high 8, if you will.
The middle 8 are the worst for me. The middle 8, that is the worst.
It used to be your high score.
1 through 8 is my best score.
23 and 24 used to be your best pair.
23 and 24 is my worst pair now.
Well, now I said used to be.
Oh, you might as well mark me down for 270 on that pair.
Before.
Then I went there. I shot 140 on it, I think it was. It wasn't even 150. And they were super tricky. And then we bowled I think we bowl to the left or the right of it, and usually I'm okay in that area. And then when you get to the high end, I don't bowl as well. But it just seemed like they were tricky for me. I just haven't really. I don't know. I'm not gonna blame it on this screening. Be like, oh, it's all
Sounds
maybe.
like you are.
I think they just. I mean, maybe I'm throwing a little bit different, but I'm just seeing them play a little different. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Deke, do you take notes? I do take notes on pairs I bowl well and I bowl bad on. That's it. I could tell you that 25 and 26 there is the worst pair to bowl on because 25 is 7 boards tighter than 26. 23 and 24, like I said, I used to be able to mark me down for 250. If you gave me 1 through 8, I average probably 240, 230 around there on those pairs. You get me in the, let's say like 9 to 16, you might as well mark me down for 180. Because that's just how they play. Because there's just enough front hook to where I've got to get to the right a little bit, but then they're still tight enough to where I can't get the ball around the corner. So yeah,
Sounds like you need to get out of your own head.
No, I don't think I'm not in my own head. I'm paying attention to where I'm bowling. So when I bowl New Year's Day and I win by 200, you guys can say I took good notes.
I hope that's true. Or not. All right, so we'll talk a little bit more about the tournament because so it was 8 games of qualifying.
Yep.
Nick and I bowled pretty well. We had a couple of low games, but overall we had a bunch of high games that kept us in the top.
Is that how that works? You
10.
have a few low games and you have a few high games?
Saying, luckily we had a bunch of high games. We didn't just bowl like an even 215 average or something. We had a couple of really low 170s and then a bunch of 230s and 240s. So that's how we were able to make it in. And like you were saying before, if your partners aren't matching up, you're never going to be able to. If one guy can't strike and the other guy can, it's never going to work out shooting 200 all day.
That's literally what happened to Matt and I. I mean, one game, I think the first game I struck every shot but once.
Right.
And then I don't know, he struck in the 10th for like 201. He had a few other strikes in there, but I think he had a split. But then the next game, like, I think I threw a few and he threw a few, but they weren't together. They were kind of like spotted out a little bit. And then move 7 boards. Well, I do move 7 boards, but that's why I take notes. I throw a shot. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on this pair. I got to move. I know what I got to do. But we just never matched up, and it looked like you guys did bomb them pretty well.
Yeah, we did pretty good. I used the reality check 2-inch pin, so short pin works pretty good for me. Worked pretty good for Nick, but he didn't use it up there. He uses phase 2 to start because he's always a little bit left of me, which is most people are usually left of me. But anyway, so we complimented each other because we're on opposite lanes, obviously. But yeah, worked out pretty good for most of the day. Let's see, where did we bowl our lower games? I think we actually did bowl our lower games probably towards the low end, I guess.
From 9 to 16.
Yeah, you're probably right.
No, hold on. My notes are actually paying off for other people now.
But some of us, or not some of us, I think one of us, whether it was him or I, in opposite games, were striking. And so same type of situation.
Yeah.
Like we did the same exact thing. We flip-flopped where one of us was striking, the other one wasn't. And then there was like an opportunity. I think maybe I had the 10th and we had like a double. So we could have shot 200 and crappy open, whatever it happened to be, and ended up with a 170. Anyway, regardless, so none of us, I think, or at least very few of us read the flyer. Certainly Nick and I didn't, because if it's a doubles tournament, we bowl it.
Neither did I.
So turns out we make the finals. That's great. And we find out that it's 10 games of round robin match play, which none of us, I think, were prepared for. Like, just mentally, physically. So we had already bowled 8 games. We find out it's 10 more games of round robin match play. So I'm like, all right, Nick, let's just go have some fun because we got to bowl a lot of games now.
Do you remember what you told me?
I don't.
You didn't tell me anything. Well, I said, I'm going to be here for a real long time.
Payback's a bitch.
When have I ever made you sit somewhere while I was bowling?
I think it was literally in that house for New Year's Day, maybe, or
New Year's Day is a sweeper, bud.
Oh yeah, no, not New Year's Day. Then it was somewhere. No, it doesn't. It was definitely at that place.
Neva is the only time that
No. It was there. It was there.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
There's really no finals there. Where I've never made a finals there. So I mean,
it was there. Anyway,
regional was not there. I drove up myself that day.
I'm just telling you. I know. It happened. Anyway, what did I tell you? or not you, or whatever you were saying.
You didn't tell me anything. I just said, well, it looks like I'm going to be here for a while. So I got some candy, sat down with a snack, and just sat there and watched you guys bowl.
Yeah. It was 10 games, D, because the last game was position round. 9 games round robin, 10th game position round. So yeah, we have to bowl everybody head to head. We did not have a great showing for round robin. We had a couple of good games. One of the good games was against the LeClaire boys, so that was fun. Beating up on those guys. It was like 240 to 230, something like that.
We found out Nick can only play the second or third arrow.
The kid that hooks it a mile gets to the ball return, and he's like, I can't go left. Sorry, Nick, but we're gonna bust on you. I can't bowl left. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you, Don and Deke. I get it. Yes. A total of 9 games. It's split in half. I understand. Yes. You're still standing around for 18 games. It's a long day.
He's only good at the second or third arrow. I mean, for the guy who can move left and hook it more than a lot of people.
Says move lefter.
Yeah,
right?
move lefter. And then he gets to a point. He's like, yeah, I just don't think I can go any more left. And Kyle looks at him and was like, this is what I felt what Kyle was saying. What are you talking about? Just get in front of the ball return and hook it more.
It was awesome.
I mean, I watched you bowled really good in front of the ball return. I will say you were
For never doing it, like,
yeah, I mean,
I fared pretty well. I had a fair amount of strikes.
Get ready for Bud Bowl now. You're in front of the ball return. The only thing is you weren't 9 Miller Lights in, so
That's right. That's right.
You have to get used to that. But yeah, that was definitely interesting. It was definitely super far left.
Yeah, and Devin and Georgie kicked our butts again.
They were pretty straight.
They were absolutely crushing. Well, George throws it 100 miles an hour.
He was doing some performance-enhancing things outside.
I don't know what you're talking about. And yeah, Devin, she can keep it to the right too. Like I don't know, like she usually hooks it, but she was playing pretty far to the right too. She wasn't hooking it a whole lot, but yeah, they were able to stay a little bit further right than us. But I'm slow. Like I throw it slow. Nick hooks it a lot, and he doesn't have too much speed, so he's gonna have to hook it too. So yeah, we weren't able to play too much to the right. But so Georgie had mentioned 39 and 40. Well, Nick and I, and maybe even
when did you start calling him Georgie?
I don't know. I just now
Right.
Georgie Gorman. I said Georgie Gorman the third. GG3. What do you want me to say?
GG.
George Gorman the third. GG3.
Yeah, no, but GG was like Jasmine Mason.
No. Stop it. So during qualifying, we hit 39 and 40. Most hooking pair all day long.
By how much?
It had to be multiple boards.
Was that the last pair they used? I don't think we ever got that
that
far
was the
up.
last pair on the right. So obviously, because it's 39-40 on the high end. So hit that once during qualifying. Then we hit it 3 more times during the round robin for a total of 4 times during that tournament. And I'm not sure that Nick and I averaged higher than 180 on that pair, because it was hooking at least 5 more than the rest of the finals pairs.
Was it a sanctioned event?
No, why?
Could have tried lefty.
Fair enough. But it would have not looked good.
It could have been better than 180. I've seen Nick bowl lefty. It's not good. You're right.
I'm not good either.
Really? You're a bowler. How can you not be good with the opposite hand?
I'm just not good with it. I don't practice with it.
You don't need to practice.
Don says they got done at 10 p.m. one year.
Not
we
me.
were pretty well. We weren't close. We got done at 8:30.
7.
So I will say, I'm gonna if oh my god, I'm blanking. I said his name 10 minutes ago.
Doug,
thank you. If Doug is watching, and Doug, first of all, like we were talking about 2 weeks ago, we said we really appreciate being able to bowl that many games for $100. It's a good deal. There's not very many tournaments, singles or doubles or otherwise, where you get to bowl all day long. Like usually it's like 4 games and you're done or whatever. So
I only got 4 games.
those of us that made the finals,
Oh, sorry.
we got a bunch of games. So we really appreciate the long day. However, if we could just bump that tournament up to 9:30, 10 o'clock,
That's early.
start time, that would be great. Because holy crap, bowling that late at night, that was a long day.
I will say the The day was long. It was good. I enjoyed watching you guys. You know, I think that it was a pleasure watching you guys hook the entire lane.
It was a pleasure watching George because he was fire off the right side.
I'm telling you, PEDs, baby. This guy was using some PEDs.
Yeah, Don, I think we got I think Nick and I got $100 each, or something like that.
$200
$200 each.
$200 per person, so
That's
$400
right.
Per team.
Yep. I will say, I'll tell you one story about the day that wasn't just about the bowling. So it wasn't a staggered skip or anything, so everybody's following the same group of people all day. And local tournaments, you're bowling with and against just kind of average Joes sometimes, which I am too. I'm just saying, maybe not tournament experienced, if you will. So I'm bowling and I'm giving pretty standard 2-lane courtesy is what I would call it. And a couple of times this guy's giving me the stink eye. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what the problem is. But so finally, like few games in, maybe 4 games in, he looks over to me and he goes, I only need 1. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so like, what would you do in that situation? Because like the whole rest of the house is expecting how many lanes would you say?
I mean, in that event, usually I'm giving 2.
Right.
Usually in any event that is
tournament, you're giving 2 lanes, right?
I mean, it depends unless it's
PBA side.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking PBA, but I'm just talking normal.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like told 1 lane, then I mean, I won't expect somebody to jump up on me. I should say I will I'll if it happens, like I'll note who it is and be like, all right, I'm not going to try and go and they go. Right. But I would expect to be 2 normally, unless told otherwise.
But exactly. So you're kind of expecting in any scratch tournament or whatever average tournament, you're kind of expecting to give 2 lanes of courtesy. But then he like yells out, I only need 1. But now we're in this like dance where it's like, okay, well, this guy wants 1, but this guy to my right wants 2. So how am I supposed to like?
You just don't go when that guy's up.
Well, yeah, but now he's like looking at me like I should be going because he's not ready to go, but he only needs 1.
Then you grab your chamois, and when he gives you the stink eye, you just start wiping your ball off again.
So then I'm thinking, all right, so that tournament aside, because that was just silly, whatever. I just started walking up when he went up and making sure nobody was to my right. But what should be the lane courtesy in bowling tournaments or leagues? Like I have my opinion. Like I think league bowling, if you're not in a tournament, every league, scratch, handicap, mixed, whatever, 1 lane.
Okay.
What do you think?
Just in general?
League bowling. League only.
I think it depends on how big your league is.
Why?
Well, if you've got 24 teams of 4 or 3 and you're bowling at 8:30 at night and you're bowling 4 games or whatever, that should probably be 1. Because that'll keep the pace going a little bit more. Like when we bowl Monday nights, I don't like my nephew jumped up on me the other day. Then I gave him the finger, kicked his kneecap in. But not really. He jumped up on me. I went up. Like it wasn't a big deal. Like I expect that.
He's learning too.
Yeah, but even anybody, there's a few OGs, I'll call them, who expect the 2 lane. But a lot of times, like I'm like, hey, you guys want to go? Like whatever, like no big deal. If we're bowling at 6:30 and there's nobody behind us, I got 4-man teams. 2 lanes is fine. Just whatever you do not adopt the PBA lane courtesy rule. It is the worst lane courtesy rule ever. No, PBA is not the best, and PBA is not faster if everybody does it right. That is 100% garbage. Don't tell me it is. It's horrible. If you're going to bowl PBA, you should know it's just a 2-lane courtesy. Get up there and go and bowl your shot. Because then when you get out of sync, you're all screwed up. No, PBA is not the best. No shot. So there's no shot. If you want to be there for 5 hours, do your PBA rule and give yourselves 4 lanes of courtesy.
First of all, for the people when we post this on the podcast services, they're going to be listening. Anthony's responding to all of the commenters that are saying PBA is the best. I will say, in league, it should be 1 lane. 1 lane only, because you're at night, you're trying to get home. Like 1 lane is fine, more than sufficient. Also, make you a better bowler. You should be able to bowl, put your blinders on,
I can't
learn
wait
to
to
be
jump.
distracted.
Yeah, I
It's
hope I
fine.
will nice to you.
Go ahead. I don't really care. We've got guys. Listen to me. Okay, here. Let's talk about this. In our doubles league, we have groups. We have groupings. So like we'll do 2 pairs, a pair of lanes that are empty, 3 pairs, a pair of lanes that are empty, 2 pairs, a pair of lanes that are empty. So you guys get the idea. There's guys that will be next to the dead pair
And give courtesy to the
and
guys.
give courtesy to the next pair down.
I don't even look.
Like, I'm like,
I don't.
it's
even
your turn to go.
Look.
Forget about I only need 1 lane. I'm like, you're giving 4 lanes of courtesy. This is ridiculous. Just go already. Anyway, so league, 1 lane. Okay. Now tournaments, I agree that the PBA system is slow. The guys that say that it's fast are 100% wrong. It is slow because when you're bowling doubles, not doubles, excuse me, 4-man on a pair, it is not any faster than when you're bowling in league. Because when we're bowling in league, I don't even have a chance to sit down. When we're bowling in PBA tournaments, there are times when you're just sitting for a while. Maybe that's because the lanes are harder and people are throwing spares. But
Sure, I can understand that. I just don't think that I think the PBA rule, they also have 4 people on a pair. So when Deke says they bowl 8 games in 3 hours, sure. If you just gave me like a 2 lane or a 1 lane, like I'm going to be done way faster now. We bowl 3 games now with 4 people on a pair in an hour and a half. So it's no different.
The benefit of the PBA style is that if you're good at it or if you pay attention, and clearly I'm bad at it because I got yelled at by
I am wrong.
I got yelled
Thank
at
you.
by the one and only Ryan Schaefer.
Then he put his stop sign to his
Traffic
traffic guard guy on.
Anyway, so if you're good at it, it is you do know your pace. Like, I'm not saying it's any faster, but this guy's up to your left, that guy's up to your right. You sit and wait. Then they're done. You're up. Like, there is a system, and you don't have to look to your left and right to be like, is it your turn? Is it my turn?
No,
it your
you
turn?
still
Is
do.
it my turn?
You're
You're not supposed to, though. I understand that you bowled in the regionals. I'm just saying that if the system is right and everybody's paying attention and they're up when they're supposed to be,
right.
it does work.
It's never ever right. It's the worst ever.
It's not the
Like,
worst ever.
Oh no, 100% it is. I'd rather bowl 1 lane courtesy than PBA any day of the week in a tournament too. I can't stand PBA. The other thing is you actually have to think about when it's your turn. Like, oh, the left and the right lane went. Oh, now it's my turn. No, when I'm up there, I'm just gonna go. The only benefit to the PBA courtesy is that you finish with typically, sometimes, because it doesn't always work, you finish the same time with the other people because everybody's throwing the same amount of frames at the same amount of time. That's what it's typically used for. But
it doesn't work.
It hasn't, because I've gotten yelled at by Brad Angelo because the people in front of us were slow, and I think I was bowling with Schaefer.
Oh, so you had to be doing it right.
Yeah, Schaefer actually likes me, Kai. He doesn't put the stop sign thing out for
The crossing guard.
Actually, I think it was John Fury, and John Fury kind of told him, like, dude, we were doing everything the right way. Back off. Like, it's not our fault that the people in front of us are slow. We're trying to make up time for them, but we're also still trying to bowl. I agree. I thank all the people that tell me that I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong. Even the PBA players don't like that.
The PBA players are cranky.
Well, yeah, they all are.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, even
are you saying Deke and Don are cranky?
No, I'm talking about like, the other people.
No, the touring guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even guys don't even like it up there. Sometimes I think it's just a waste of time. That's just my truth. My truth. You should just be ready to bowl at all times. Like league play. I'm sorry, Janelle, but you are the slowest bowler alive.
No,
like, I
nope.
can't.
She's not the slowest.
Stand it.
There are definitely slower bowlers.
No, because when your name is up there, like when your player throws a strike or whatever, you should be going, or a spare, whatever it is. You should be making your way
not
to
slow on the approach. She's laxity.
Let me look at Pinterest while I'm playing bowling. Like, I sometimes will look at her and
No,
be
don't
like,
worry. She's not watching, so it doesn't. You're not gonna.
I look at her and go, "You're up. You're up. Okay, All right, good job. Oh, you're gonna ball change now? Yeah, no, I can't do that. I don't agree. I know Connor wrote in the group chat today that PBA was the best style. I laughed. Said if I wanted to sleep there and might as well get me a cot. Yeah, I'll enjoy that, but I don't enjoy the PBA style.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I just don't like it. It's not my kind of bowling. I like to just get up and go. Like I don't care who on the left or who on the right. Like my pace is my pace, and when I want to go, I want to go. I don't want to have to wait for the guy on the left and the guy on the right. When I get up there and I grab my ball and I'm ready, I'm going to look left, look right, get up there and go. I'm going to fire away instead of being like, "Well, it's your turn, Johnny." Oh yeah, take your piece of tape out. Yeah. Oh, you need to step off. Oh, now you got to re-rack.
Well, that is interesting because it does.
Oh, now it throws everything else
It does throw
off.
the system off.
Oh, it's a L. Oh, now you want to take 4 years to throw your ball? Let me get the rain delay out. Let me go get the tarps on my lane so I can freaking huddle up. It's horrible. It's horrible.
I do wonder because, like, so they take their time to take you. It's your turn to go then, right? If they back off, are you supposed to wait for them? It doesn't say it in the rules.
I go.
I go too.
I'm not gonna.
But then I get stared at.
Why is
You know what I
Stephanie
mean?
staring at me?
I don't know.
Yes, a few of them will get. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I just don't. Yeah. To the people in the chat, they're saying a few of them get angry. Most will teach. Yes. Connor wrote, if you know it's when it's your turn, it's by far the best. Yeah, sure, I guess. But if you bowl with slow people, it's horrible. I don't know. If you back off, it forfeits your turn, according to Greg Tack. He is the guy who does do the teaching out there when you're an original or a new guy. I don't know. I just don't really. I never really gotten along with it. Maybe it's because I haven't bowled with the right people, or it's because of X, Y, and Z. But I just don't like it. Maybe it's because of that.
I say go back to one lane. All right.
Nah, I don't like. And you can't do that in a PBA event. You still got to give the guy like his space. Yeah, I mean, when you're playing darts, the other guy's not like.
Well, I didn't say one lane like the next lane over. One lane of courtesy.
Yeah, I think the pair thing is silly. Like if I'm on 9,
oh my god, 3 extra lanes, sometimes 4.
Yeah, I don't get
crazy.
that. That's to me, that's just
absolutely crazy.
That's silly. I think yeah.
All right, so like I said, we bowled doubles. Now this is something else we've been talking about.
Sorry to all the people who hate me.
Well, we all hate you. It's fine.
Well, I'm a pivot, so I'm used to it.
So this is something else that we've been talking about that wasn't. I didn't even notice until actually he's in the chat. Connor brought it up. The number of doubles tournaments that we have in our area, and I'm wondering why people think that might be. So, like,
are you saying it's more or less?
It seems like way more. Now there's so obviously there's Super Bowl doubles. That's number 1 in my heart.
Still, yeah, it's your one day a year.
Well, I'd have to do it in my head here, but we can count them off. Like we just did the first double. I think was that the first one of the year, first doubles tournament of the year, or did we have one before that?
Technically, the Fall Semi Classic with the optional doubles.
The optional doubles. That's not a true doubles tournament.
Fine.
Even though Nick and I did win.
Yes,
it's not a.
It
not
would
doubles
be.
Tournament.
This one is the first doubles.
So that was South Glens Falls Baker's doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Next one would be not until Super Bowl.
No, Thanksgiving Eve.
Oh, okay. That's in
Broadway.
Yeah, but where is that?
Fort Edward.
Fort Edward. Thank you.
Now that is a. Are you just talking scratch doubles?
Doesn't have to be.
Oh wait, there's the over under this weekend too.
Over under this weekend.
Over under this weekend. There's the Thanksgiving Eve one. Then you've got Diggers doubles in December.
Yep.
Then you've got I don't know if you want to count mine or not. The Baker's doubles for a month, but then you have Baker's doubles the week after that. Then you have another's doubles the week after that, and then you have
Super Bowl again.
No, and then you have the Drexel doubles.
And then Drexel doubles. So I think we got up to 10 at least.
7 or 8.
Real quick, take a pause. George Gorman. So to quickly explain it, if you're not familiar with the PBA lane courtesy, how it works is when you are up, you have to give a pair of courtesy to your left and a pair of courtesy to your right. Once both of those bowlers have completed their turns, then it is your turn.
Your pair's turn.
Your pair's turn.
And then it goes back to the outsides.
Right.
Then it goes back to the insides. Then it goes back to the outside.
Yeah, it's hard to. It's in the rule book, but Yes, it's basically once you're up.
Your pair throws a frame, then the people to your outside throw a frame, and then once both sides go, then you go again. Then both sides on the outside go, then then the inside goes. That's how I look at it. Now you see why I hate it? Because I have to think about it. Okay, I've jumped. Listen, I am sorry to all the people I have jumped because I've done it. I literally bowled next to Sterner, and him and I were so zoned in that we both got up next to each other at
Like
the
on
same
the same
time.
pair?
Like I was on like 10 and he was on 11. We both went up, looked at each other in the eyes, both backed off, and we both were like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." He was like, "I'm so sorry." And I turned around and somebody's like, "Dude, you just jumped Stern." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't like that I have to wait for the left and the right to go. Like nobody was there. I grabbed my spare ball and I wanted to go shoot my spare.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to wait."
I did that too, and I think that's why I got yelled at.
Is that what you guys
Because
did?
I just grabbed it because
But Sterner
somebody
was-
backed off, so I just grabbed my ball and went.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and-
It's like a
It's not your turn. I'm like, okay, whatever.
yeah, but I did that
Anyway.
to Sterner. Super cool about it.
Yeah.
And he was
Oh, not the crossing guard.
Sterner was super cool. He was like, "Dude, I'm so sorry I jumped you." I was like, "Dude, I literally just went. What are you talking about?" I've done that a few times. I think I've bowled next to a few people where I get them upset, but at the same time, come find me because I don't care enough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, so doubles. Why do we think that there are so many doubles tournaments, and now it seems like there's a lot fewer? Well, I mean, in the capital region where we are,
There's no singles.
there's like no singles tournaments anymore, right?
I don't know.
There's you have the fall semi classic. Are you doing the Masters again?
They've asked me to do it, so I'm gonna
That's
try
right.
and do
That's
it.
right. That's a USBC tournament.
Technically, I run it, but yes,
Then you have like the state Masters. That's not capital region, but when it passes through, it is.
it's in Binghamton this year, so it's close enough.
But
Bud
there's
Bowl, I guess you could count Bud Bowl, even though it's kind of
that's
farther away.
hours away.
New Year's Day.
Neba's far away.
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day is up at South Glens Falls. I mean, Doug Bohannon and you
That's
are probably the biggest tournament directors here. You have run a ton of tournaments. Doug does nice scratch tournaments up at South Glens Falls.
That's it. Fall Semi Classic, January 1st.
So where have all the singles gone?
They took away Kingpin Rome because there's too many birthday parties.
Really? Is that really what the reason is?
Somebody, I seen it somewhere that they canceled it, and then I heard it was because they had too many birthday parties or bookings for the lanes or something like that.
Wow.
So they didn't. They're not doing that. I do Swiss trios, so that's a trio instead of a single.
Mhm.
But Thanksgiving Day turkey shoot. I mean, like I don't know, like that we run
Yeah,
that one for fun. Like
That's a fun house shot tournament. I'm thinking more scratch style.
And there's really not
Or
much.
even-
I know Broadway lanes and Fort Edwards. They have tried to do a few in the past. I haven't worked with my schedule. It's really tough to really. I don't know. I don't understand why there's not as many singles. New York State Queens for the girls was here last year, so
The women get it right.
excuse me. George Gorman, bring back the 5-game NBAs. I used to travel on Sundays and as a kid and watch my dad bowl. Always look forward to those growing up. They did talk about. There has been a few conversations with a few different people about bringing those types of things back, but the problem that has always been around is that there's too many tournaments every month already as is. So like this month you've got the over 50, under 50. The month before you do the fall semi classic, there was a Baker's doubles this month. Listen, the fall semi classic is kind of on a lower scale, but still like I still put up a decent amount of money.
Yeah, it's a super fair shot.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, it was a little interesting this year, but it was fair. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. It's a fair shot that everybody could play on, and the scores weren't super out of control.
No. So you have Diggers doubles in December. You usually have the Kingpin Rome one, which a lot of guys went to, and then January 1st is January 1st. Then you get into the team tournament where Town Academy has a bunch, and then I do the Baker's doubles. So then that month kind of gets, the bowlers have to pick and choose, and then you have the Super Bowl doubles, and the week after that is another double. So now February is basically taken up, January and February for that matter. Then you get into March.
But what do you think it is? What is it? A fun factor? Is it being able to rely on a partner rather than yourself? Like, what is the reason? What is there a mentality portion to it? Is it?
Well, I mean, how many teams did he have up at Glens Falls? 50?
60 something. I mean, at least on the registration, there was 60 something.
So what did they really end up with? Let's say 50, I think 55, something like that.
Sure. Well, they took 10 to finals, so
That's 100 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're telling me that singles isn't going to garner enough, 56 teams, thank you, Devin. So 56 times 2 is 112. You have 112 people there. Thank you. There's 112 people there. You're telling me that if they're all bowling scratch, you're telling me that if there was another scratch event with a similar price and maybe a similar prize fund, obviously it'd be different, but you're telling me that you couldn't get 60 people to bowl. Like 60 is still not a bad number in a scratch event, in my opinion.
Right. But you're right when you say now you're getting 112. I'm
not saying that you're not going to get those people all the time, but I'm saying half of that. If 50% of the field enters, you have 60 people. Is that going to take up your whole center? I mean, in a 24-lane center, I would run 24 lanes to make it quicker so I could cut down. So if open bowling came in, I could change it because 60 really isn't that bad. I think that would be fine. Doug obviously has a pretty good draw for the scratch guys. So I don't think there's no reason that he won't get 80 to 100 for his New Year's Day or 80 to 100 on any other singles, as long as it's within reason. He tried the New York State, what was it, the Masters or whatever, the Kingpin Masters.
Oh, yeah. His Masters tournament.
I think I put it out there. I didn't enjoy the format. So
I agree with Brett. I don't think 112 would ever enter a scratch tournament. I mean, when we had Huck Finn for $70 or $60 back then, and you could win $1,000, we still didn't even get that many entries on a Sunday morning shift.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens, and I can see that. That's why I said 60 players. I mean, the scratch guys are realistically going to bring in 60 people unless you really do a ton of work on it and you build it. I mean, you look at the NEBA. I mean, I think their numbers are trending kind of in the wrong direction from what I hear. I don't pay attention, so don't quote me on any of that. But I've heard that it's been down over since when we used to go.
Yeah, well, that can be contributed to a couple of factors, being the shots that they're choosing,
sure,
and formats and whatever.
What I'm saying is their entries are down. I'm not saying that in a negative way, but if it was a local tour where maybe we could get some local businesses to sponsor and maybe have like a player of the year, and you made them so that they weren't all day events, like, and the TV taping is here and there.
We don't even need a TV taping on a separate day like they used to.
You have live feeds
live
now.
streaming.
Yeah.
Set up your phone.
So what I'm saying is it, it could be done a little differently. We could make them a little quicker, a little more efficient, and have some decent prize fund for the players. But it just, how many people are you going to have? Doubles always seems to draw for some reason because people want to bowl, I guess, with the teammates.
Yeah.
Don Harrington says NEMA is down mostly because of the ridiculous patterns they're putting out. I guess so. I think they're a little far away for us.
They're definitely far away.
We
love
to bowl them. I love to bowl them. I always like to go. It really help me get, start bowling and doing all that stuff. But it is, when you wake up at 5 to go bowl or 6 to go bowl,
crazy, yeah.
Because I want to bowl both shifts if I don't make it, which I never did until the second shift. So I had to bowl both.
I do wonder if he's talking about when he says ridiculous, if he's talking about the house shots or the hard shots. I assume he means the house shots.
I don't know.
Rec shots.
I don't know. I think there would have to be an actual, it would have to actually be you'd have to have a certain, pattern kind of thing. You'd have to make sure that everything is done the right way. You want to make sure the format's not overly long. Like in this area, you could probably get away with one shift on a Sunday and get in and get out.
Yeah.
I mean, you could run some sweepers, you could do some match plays, but at the end of the day, we still have to recognize that the bowling industry still needs to make money. So even if we had to shrink down or start early in the morning, like we do a tournament club.
Oh, Don said the hard shots are ridiculous.
Yeah, they got some guys who are making some patterns now. I've seen some of them. I won't give my opinion because I also kind of agree they're a little bit crazy.
Silly.
Yeah, they're silly. But I think that as bowlers they want to I don't want to say they want to stay all day, which is nothing wrong with that. But like if I bowl, I'd prefer a longer format as a bowler because it gives me a few games to get going.
You don't want to pay $100 and be 3 and out.
Right. I mean, I like a longer format because I feel like I can bowl better as the day goes on. Whereas if you really think about it, some of the guys like shorter ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of I think that's kind of the thing is doubles. You can do Baker's doubles and you can make it fairly quick. You can bowl 6 or 8 games. It's really only 4. So they feel like they're getting 8 games. They're really not shut out of anything, but the bowlers get 4 here or there. So it kind of makes up for that.
Brett's wondering if it's the sports shots that are causing bowlers to be deterred. I mean, the problem for me with that is if you're putting out a scratch tournament, the house shot becomes a handicap. It's like an automatic handicap. But I don't think you should ever have a scratch tournament on a house shot or a rec shot, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
I'm not saying it's got to be 1-to-1, 2-to-1. It should be difficult.
What's that one called? Snowman doubles or something?
No, where it's just and nobody knows what it is, and you show up and it's like super, super hard.
No, not that one.
Oh,
that's
the one that's on the house shot.
It's on the house shot, and it's
all the big guys show up. Yeah,
it's packed.
Yeah, but they probably have tons of money in it.
Oh,
right?
I'm sure they do, but
and that's another issue as we've talked about before is the money you're paying. The prize funds haven't changed. You know what I mean? In 20 years, you're still bowling for $1,000. And you're paying $100. Is $1,000 a lot of money? Sure, but it's a long day for $1,000.
Yeah, completely agree. I think that if you're really going to run a good scratch tournament, or you want to create a good local tour, I think you have to have, you got to have about 5 or 6 bowlers. And you got to have a guy who's willing to run it, but you got to have 5 or 6 bowlers and get their opinions and sit down at a round table and be like, listen,
like a players committee.
Yeah, but it's got to be like what, not even like a real players committee, Kyle, but like what is going to draw people? Like what would you need? Okay, and then you have somebody from the bowling center side. What would you need? And obviously, I think that it would be really good to have a spotlight on the scratch guys because we have some really good scratch players here. We have really good talent in the area. So not only is it going to enhance in what's that word? Promote the sport of bowling and how good these guys are. Because say you live stream. I mean, maybe you get something you post to your juniors or whatever, and be like, hey, you guys want to see these guys? They're on the live stream. I'm not saying that it has to be TV because it's free on the live stream now. Yeah,
that TV would be silly. I mean, the Huck Finn did a great job back when we had it, and they did what they could do as far as we didn't have streaming back then. It wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So they did the TV tapings, and it was fun, but it cost a ton of money. So a lot of that money that could have went to the bowlers, unfortunately. And
look at what Don said right there. There's some people who live stream.
Yeah, 100%.
Where the sponsors can see it, we can put stuff up for them, and you can get more money for the local tour.
Absolutely.
I really think it's a good idea. I just don't know how to do it. Obviously, I don't want to run it.
Yeah, no. Well, the BPAA could do it again, like they ran it before.
Yeah, but
they just got to get the right people in charge.
Somebody's got to be in charge, and then I feel like I would end up trying to be in charge.
We're bowling,
but I would prefer to bowl. Obviously, like we do the Albany Masters now, and since it's going to be here again, I can't bowl.
Right,
which is kind of a bummer. You know what I mean? Like I would like to compete in that event. I think, yes, Don, I agree with you. Some people doing the patterns don't care about entries. Yes. I mean, I can see the lane design they have up for this week. It is 21 milliliters and 44 feet. It's literally was made for 2005.
What's this week?
The NEBA champions or something out there in the NEBA. It's literally like something that is years and years and years ago. But anyways, I digress. Is that a good word to use?
Yeah, it's a good word.
I think that we could do something, but somebody would have to run and actually put some time into it. But it would have to be a bowler.
Yeah,
it can't be just be somebody random.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for sticking with us. We had some trouble. There's Zach in the window. Say hi, Zach. Say hi. He wants to be a YouTuber, so it's his time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Thank you for sticking with us tonight with all of our troubles because Austin had to take the night off. So screw you, Austin, for making me screw this all up. But hope Artie's doing good in the hospital bed. Thanks for watching, Artie. Really appreciate it. Hope the knee works out, and we'll see you bowling next week. So with that being said, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. If you don't watch on YouTube, you can always download and listen via your favorite podcast service. And while you're listening, always give us that 5-star review or the like button or heart symbol or whatever they do to make you like us. Let's see. What do you normally say? Austin, good job tonight. He's not there. Anthony, good show tonight, even though I screwed it all up. Thank you to Jack Scaccia, proprietor of Town and Country Lanes. Thank you guys all in the chat tonight. You guys did a heck of a job keeping us on our
Thank you.
toes and sticking with us while we had no audio for like 20 minutes. Thinking of my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan. We will see you guys next week. Oh, yeah, that's right. Janelle. We will see you guys next week. I got to find the outro.
Austin will be back.
Is Town Lane Podcast.